to set in place in order for us to be able to go ahead and accomplish that career. Most of us have desires of what type of career path we want to take, but because we don't have goals to actually put us on that right path, so the career is just in our heart and it has not come to reality. So in order for your career path or your career choices that you take, whether you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, a teacher, or an accountant, you want to own your own business, whatever you choose, you have to have a plan. You have to have a goal. So we're gonna focus on that. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. So fully allow me. Let's see. So I'm just going to start from this part because that's where we're on. So let me know if you can see it because it's my phone I'm using. I'm not sure if it's big or not, but
You can see it.
it doesn't allow you to see. I wonder who.
Okay. Flip it the other way. How was it?
Wait, like this?
Oh, like that, but then I can't.
Is it
Uh,
is it
I think
big
it has to
or
come
is it
up
small?
on the screen. Like it's at the end of the screen instead of being directly on the screen.
Interesting.
Do you have, is
Yeah,
that a PowerPoint?
that's a PowerPoint. I'm using my phone, so I'm not sure. Let's see.
Yes, you can email it and we broadcast it because the way it looks is hard to see.
Okay, hold on, let me.
Yeah, it's so small.
I can do that.
If you send it, then I can share on this send phone.
You want me to send it to you on WhatsApp?
No, email.
Okay, hold on.
Hold on. Send it to my email. Yeah, 'cause I'm on the computer. I can send, yeah. Send it to the email and then I can pull it up. Be the LKB email, that's fine too, whichever one. I can pull it up.
I'm sure I brought my laptop. Okay. All right, I think it's gonna come to you different. So let me download the
Okay.
yeah, because when I try to send it as email, it doesn't allow me.
Okay.
Okay, let's go to my email. You said the LKB one?
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. If you send it to that one, that's fine too. Anyway, yeah.
Okay, so let's see. They're gonna give you the link. So let's see. So you just click on the link.
Okay.
I sent it. All right. So while we do that, we're just gonna um be talking about that. So focusing on your goal. And so before I get started, I actually wanted to ask question about who remember one thing from July about the career goal that we talked about. Um,
Mm.
something that you can remember or something I mean that stood out to you um that you actually kind of implemented after we kind of talk about career goals, your careers. Because I know a lot of people was telling me, no, I like it and it really helped me. I'm like, okay. So there has to be something somebody remember. Who wants to share?
The part where you said make sure like when you're picking your career goal is what you're into is not what somebody else is forcing you to. And a lot of time where like coming up is like people tell you like, oh, go into nursing or go into this because you'll make more money. But when you sit and think about it, it's like, the classes and all that stuff. If you're willing to do it and that's what you want, then go for it. But not because somebody's telling you it's a great opportunity, then you're running to go do it and, put financially on your head. So that's the part I took from July.
Mhm.
Hey, thanks for sharing. That's good. Yep. And you found a lot of people are in debt. All right. So yeah, CJ, if you can go to the one that talks about the career, I think I forget hold on, what number is that?
I guess my takeaway was that you have to have passion for whatever you choose. It's
Mhm.
good for it to provide financially, but if you're not like you don't have a passion for it, or if it's not something that you have an interest in it, that at the end of the day you might just put yourself in a lot of debt and be highly miserable, and then have like a midlife crisis, where at the not at the end, but be in like whatever, and then you're pivoting or changing because it's not something that you truly love, or it's not something that gives you any type of satisfaction.
Yep. Definitely. All right. Thanks for sharing. Okay. All right. Sister Joe, I want to go to 15. I think it's slides 15.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Okay. So, well, we know it's September, so welcome to the month of September. So we're still right there. Wait, is it going faster? Well, it's a month of fruitfulness. Most of the time people say, September is the time for birthday and all that, but you know, that's all good. So if you can go back to 16 for me, there's a question on there.
Can you see
Uh,
this? Hold on. Can you see it still?
yeah, no, right now I can't see the slides anymore.
Okay. Did you see it when it was bigger? Okay, that's okay.
No, it wasn't bigger. Let me see.
Okay. What happened? Okay. Okay, you said 15. There you go.
Yeah, so you can go to 16, that's fine. So 16 will be fine. Um, so before I ask the question, I am going to read a scripture. So it's in the book of Proverbs. So Proverbs 16, verses 9. All right, let me see where you are right now. Go to number 16.
Yeah, that's 16.
Oh, so yours is different from mine. Okay, so your 16 is different from mine. So go back to the other one. Um, Hold on, let me make this screen bigger.
Yeah.
So okay,
have.
so the slides before this one you are showing, is there anything there for you? Oh, for some reason yours don't have, wait, I just saw it when you share it, but it had like the one that says goal.
This one?
No, it was color. It had colors. Maybe click out of it and then click it again. Because when you share it, it was in there. Or probably the slides just got messed up.
Is it this one? Yeah, probably out of order.
Yeah, probably, yeah, because when you're sharing it first, I saw it. It has the word goal on it, and it has a
Mhm.
question at the top of it.
Goal. It just says goal at the top. That's
Yeah,
all.
the goal.
Mm,
Yeah, when you share it first, I saw it. That's weird. I think the slides got messed up. Let's see.
no, not sure.
Yeah, that's weird. It got messed up. I'm missing about 2 slides. Okay, that's fine. I have the question I was just asking.
Yes.
So let me read the scripture. So Proverb 16 verses 9. It says, a man's heart plans his way, but the Lord direct his steps. So a man's heart plans his way, but the Lord is the one who directs the steps of the individual. So God Himself, want us to even be able to plan, to have plans, so that way we are not just doing stuff out of order. But God is the one who is going to direct whatever we plan. It is He that is going to direct it for us. All right. So the question I wanted to ask was, what goal do you have in mind? Like right now, what are some of your goals that you have that you want to accomplish? What are some of those goals? So if about 2 people, if you like to share with us, if you have any goals in your heart that you like to share with us, um, that you want to accomplish. It can be a long-term goal or a short-term goal that you have. Just want to see what are some goals that people have with in their heart. So if anyone would like to share what are some goals that you have, um, and then I can kind of move forward and talk about this.
Can I go?
Yes.
Okay, so my goal is I want to learn how to sew. That's one of my personal goal because I be having so many customers coming to me, oh, can you make this for me? I'm like, oh, I don't sew. And they be wondering, okay, how are you a fashion designer? You can't sew. So now, excuse me, I want to learn how to sew. eh, Excuse me. And then my main goal is I want to be a designer for New York Fashion Week.
All right. Great. Great. Okay. Getting business license. All right. That's from Hajat. All right. Anyone else want more?
My goal after nursing is to become a midwife.
Great. Great. All right. That's great. All right. So thanks for sharing. We have fashion design to learn how to sew, get business license, and be midwife. All right. So those are great goals. So earlier I was thinking, I'm like, okay, God, what does goals stands for? Um, if I were looking at it from a spiritual aspect, Proverbs say that it is God who directs um the heart. And I was thinking, so I'm like, okay, gold. So I'm like, okay, God over any level. Okay. So when we are setting our goals, we have to understand that God has to be over whatever level we want to get in life, whatever level you want to achieve. God needs to be over that level. It can't just be you who is instructing yourself. It can be you who is guiding yourself. It can be you who is, making decisions. You have to understand that God must be over any level you desire to adventure into. So this is a smart goals, right? So as a supervisor, usually if my CSR are struggling, and I need to come up with a plan to help them to improve. With performance issue, I need to come up with a plan. And so the plans, the way that we do it, we'll come up with SMART goals and stuff like that. So we'll kind of talk about it that way, how you're supposed to plan using the SMART goal plans. Okay. So goal setting, it has to be deliberate. Okay. So that meaning something that you have to be intentional about your goal setting. It has to be deliberate. So it can just be something where you just, like you didn't even think about it. There is no intention behind it. The reason why you have this goal, is it because of a passion that you have, or is it because of maybe it's the current demand in the society, or whatever? Your goal setting needs to be intentional, because if it's not intentional, you're not going to, you will set the goal and not do anything about it. And this is why most of the time when people plan New Year resolution, is that I want to lose weight, I want to do ABC. That is the goal, but then because they are not intentional, after a month into the new year, you ask them, how does the goal come in? Oh, you know what? I just got so busy. I don't even understand. I got tired. Okay, because why you're not intentional about it? You wasn't intentional about it. When it comes to that, your goal has to be purposeful. Okay, there has to be a purpose behind it. You can't just set a goal, there is no purpose behind it, and most people live their life that way. There is no, they make decision, there is no purpose behind it, or the purpose behind it, it has nothing to take them to that goal. They're probably doing it to show up, is to show people like, well, if you can graduate too, I'm gonna go to the same school and graduate, but you have no interest in that. Okay, so goal setting is a deliberate and purposeful process of identifying specific objectives. So your aim, you have to understand what is your aim, what are you trying to achieve, so you are not all over the place. On desired outcomes, and creating a plan to achieve them within a defined time frame. Most of the time we set goals, there is no accountability. Your accountability would be your time frame that you put to it. So that's why you got to be intentional when you are setting goals. So the first thing we need to do is to understand the intention. Okay, is because sometimes the intention is sometimes not to do something positive for us, more is just to show up to people that, you know what, I can run a business, she running a business, I'm gonna do it too. And then you go flunk, because now there's no plan. You don't have a plan, you just see someone doing it, so you want to do it. Okay, so you have to understand your goal has to be a deliberate and purposeful process. Okay, and goals don't just happen in a day. It takes time. So that's something we have to understand. That's why you have a short-term goals and a long-term goal. So you need to be able to identify the type of goals that you are setting. Are you setting a long-term goal, or are you setting a short-term goal? Sometimes your short-term goals can eventually lead into your long-term goals. It can help you fulfill long-term goal. Or sometimes the short-term goal is just a short-term goal. It's for a particular season, or it's just for a month, or it's just for, a year, and that's it. It has nothing to do with your long-term goals. But you need to be able to identify those, because it's important. Because sometimes people are working on long-term goals when they're supposed to be working on short-term goals to help them get to the long-term. All right. So Jojo, if you can go to the next slides for me. So for this one, you're going to talk about, okay, goal setting must be smart. Okay, so if you work in the corporate world, and most of the time your supervisor or manager will tell you about SMART goals. Okay, so it's just to be able to understand how the goal is supposed to be set. So that way we are intentional about it. We are being we understand what our aim is, with the goal. So with this one, there's not too much that we can deliberate on when it comes to goal setting. But the key is to understand your goals needs to be specific. Okay, it's not if, it's a must. It must be specific. It has to be specific to you. So what that does, it will help you. So it will narrow down what exactly you want to achieve. So when you are strategizing and you are thinking about your goals, now that you identified your career path and you understand this is the path that I want to take, and you understand the reason behind which you choose that career path, it has to be yours. It can be someone else's reason. Someone can inspire you into that, but you must be inspired by yourself that 100% this is what I have chosen. Then you need to understand, is this a long-term goal for me, or is this a short-term goal? Because if you don't understand the difference between a long-term and a short-term, when you are planning, you're going to get frustrated because you're trying to fulfill a long-term goals in probably a year, when a long-term goal is probably going to take someone like 6 years to accomplish your long-term goals and stuff like that. So it needs to be specific. What exactly are you trying to achieve? What exactly are you trying to do? So that way you can narrow it down, very specific. It will help you when it comes to research, when it comes to asking the right questions, when it comes to talking to the right for people. So example, the person said they want to be a nurse. Okay, so I want to be a nurse. Is it a short-term goal, or is this a long-term goal of mine? Okay, if you said, okay, this is a long-term goal, so this is going to be for life. I'm going to be a nurse, and this is going to be my life, my career. So whether you retire, you don't stop being a nurse, but you can turn that skill into something else. But you have your own company where you still operate as a nurse or do things as a nurse. So it would be a long-term goal. Okay, so I have a long-term goal as a nurse. Now, that's my goal. Now I need to start planning for it. Okay, what are the specific? What do I need in order to become a nurse? What is the first step that I need to take? Some people be jumping to step 5 when they have not even done step 1. Probably you need to go to visit some schools, and you need to ask questions. Does the school offer that program? You need to ask other people in the field, what do they like about the field? What are the challenges and the advantages and disadvantages about that field? I mean, if you're going to look at the field, we're going to look at the money aspect of it. Do people make money in that field and stuff like that? And you're trying to figure out what classes do I need? How long is it going to take me to go ahead and finish the course as a nurse? How long am I going to school for? 18 months, for 2 years, for 3-4 years? I mean, what exactly, how long you're going to be in school? So it has to be very specific, so that way your goals is not all over the place. The more specific you are able to narrow your goals down, and you are able to go ahead and have it strategically plan in a way where you can achieve it. Okay, so not only that we need the goals to be specific, we also need it to be measurable. So with this one, the next slide we give us more detail, but this one, basically you need to track your progress. Okay, so to ensure you are not wasting your own time, because most of the time we set goals and there is no accountability. Okay, sometimes you don't need someone to remind you, but the process that you set in place will become your accountability. Okay, so you being able to measure your progress. So whether it's every 3 months, you want to do it quarterly, that you are measuring your progress, or is it going to be annually, that you are measuring your progress. So that's what is important when you set your goals. Is it you're going to check monthly or weekly? So this was planned the next week. You want to go through your goals. Did you accomplish it? Or maybe the goal was, okay, next week, Monday, I'm going to be calling A, B, and C. Tuesday, I'm going to come on the computer and start researching some stuff. And then, probably on a Friday, I'm going to do A, B, and C. The following week, you want to evaluate, did you accomplish that goal? If you didn't accomplish that goal, why is it you didn't accomplish it? And we got to be very truthful to ourselves. Why you didn't accomplish that goal? Why you didn't call that person that should have helped you to accomplish the goal? Why that call wasn't made? Was it because you were paying attention to something else? Did you intentionally get busy? Did you go ahead and you're probably watching movie, or did you go to a party when you were supposed to be working on the project? So you have to have that accountability, so to be able to track it. If you measure your goals, you'll be able to, it will help you to see progress, and the progress will get you excited to pursue your goal. Because in realistic speaking, as a supervisor, when I evaluate my CSR, so sometimes we do evaluation for 30 days, right? Within 30 days, I'm expecting for us to have improvement. So we have the goal, we have a specific goal, probably maybe, let's say, for example, my CSR is filling a call. Okay. So filling a call, got to figure out what area in the call are you filling? Probably it's customer service, the tone. So the way the CSR speak to the customer. Okay, so then the goal is to ensure that this CSR tone is not harsh, that the CSR tone she doesn't come across rudely, but the CSR tone sound friendly. So that the goal is to get that CSR to that place, right? So we are going to track by listening to calls. I'm going to listen to your call and find out, probably take about 3 calls and listen to her and see how was the interaction between the CSR and the customer. Was the CSR tone harsh? Is there any difference from what caused the call to fail to where we are right now listening to the call? Is the CSR sounding more friendly, more confident when they are talking to the customer? So when the CSR and I meet on that 30 days mark, I have listened to the call. I have my evaluation. I'm able to tell the CSR, okay, we made progress. I listened to 3 of your calls and I see where you did not sound confused. Your tone was polite. You sound very confident and you sounded friendly. Now, if that did not happen, we did not achieve that goal, we're going to set another goal. You're going to have to repeat that whole process again. So that's the thing. You have to have the accountability. And most of the time we are looking for people to hold us accountable for the goals that we are setting. Well, that's good. But what happens if you don't have people? So this is the reason why your goals need to be measurable. You need to have a time frame to it. By tracking it, hey, this week I was able to, call few people that are supposed to call that will help me with the business idea, talking about business license. Probably I went downtown and asked question about the business license. I'm going to find out how much is the license, the fee for the license, the application process, how long does it take? Once I apply, is it going to take a year? Is it going to take 6 months? What do I need? Do I need a home for the business? Do I need a building for the business? So stuff like that, you have to schedule that in your daily routine. So it needs to be measurable. And then you also have, your goal needs to be achievable. Okay, some people be planning some useless things that we ourselves, we don't even understand. You can achieve it and you want to plan, I'm going to become a millionaire in 1 year. Look here, say that. Don't confuse yourself, because yes, unless we do 419, go rob someone, yet, God, bring a lottery number to, or yes, it's achievable we can do it that way. But if it's something you want to become a millionaire, with God, it's not going to happen in 1 year. Even millionaires will tell you they didn't get their first million in a year. It took time. it took consistency. Okay, so you have to don't set yourself up for failure, to set up goals that are not achievable, something that you yourself you can do. And most of the time, people set goals that they know they cannot achieve, and yet they adventure on it, and only to get disappointed that this thing is not working. And so, what happened? The discouragement kick in. People get discouraged, people get reluctant, and you are thinking, like, my God, like now you are thinking, well, I wonder how they achieved that. Probably you weigh 180 and you said, saying to yourself, well, in 30 days, I'm going to lose 50 pounds. Oh, stop lying to yourself. Don't, that thing is not for real. Don't try that. You're lying. It's not achievable. Well, unless you starve yourself. You understand? You starve yourself, then okay. But no, gradual goal plan is very important. Go for something you yourself know you can do. Okay, I'm gonna wake up at 4 a.m. to do this. If you know you can wake up at 4 a.m., you are not the type that wake up at 4 a.m., you are setting yourself up for failure. It's not achievable. You're gonna get disappointed that you schedule something that is not working. So your goals needs to be achievable. Okay, so whatever you desire, make sure it is something you personally can achieve. That's why it's important to understand your strength and your weakness. Do not schedule something that is around your weakness. I'm telling you, you will feel miserably, because it's not something, someone, you probably listening to someone testimony and they're telling you, yes, praise God, I wake up at 1 a.m. and I pray for 3 hours, and you say, yes, I'm about to do the same thing. Probably God will, look at you and smile and say, okay, the first day, let help this person out, and allow you to wake up and pray, and then only to find out after 5 minutes you are sleeping, and then 5 days later you quit, because you heard someone say they were praying for 1 hour at 1 a.m. or 3 hours from 1 a.m. to 3 now. So you won't do the same thing, and you find out you can do it. And now you are disappointed in yourself. No, the thing is, it's not being disappointed in yourself. You need to realign. Go for something that is achievable, something that you are able to do. Understand your strength and understand your weakness. Okay, don't rush the process. A goal setting is not something that should be rushed. It's not a corporate word. Like in a corporate setting, I gave my CSR 30 days. You see, you get a whole 30 days to do it now. So if you fail once, guess what? You still got 29 days to go. So you don't start panicking, oh my God, I didn't do it, I failed. No, you can't do that. So set the goal, make sure it's achievable, and then you go forward. And then your goal needs to be relevant to you. Okay, is this something that you can use for the future? Okay, your plan is something that you truly desire to do. Sometimes we do things that does not even apply to us. Okay, you go plan for something. I don't like this, but I see a lot of people doing it. Like you get on social media, right? They have all the trends going on. So now people want the likes and the view. I mean, that's not something you really desire to do, but because it's a trend, so what you do, you go try it, and then you try it on like, there's no satisfaction. This is not something that is, relevant in this time. It's not something that is relatable. You can relate to it, but you're just doing it because you want people to probably see you out there. You want to be a people pleaser, or you just want to be in the front page, but really you don't know what you are doing. So make sure it's something that you can relate to, something that is a part of your future. Okay, whatever goal you are setting, consider your future. That is part of it as well. Lastly, it has to be time bound. Okay, most goals that don't have no time sensibility to it end up not being established. Because if you're like, oh, I have a plan, yes, I want to become this, when? Oh, I don't know anytime. As long as I become, no, that's not, it doesn't work like that now. It don't work like that. You want to become a doctor, you can't say, anytime I become a doctor. No. Do you want to be a doctor in 4 years? Because guess what? You have a time schedule that you are running by. So you're not going to sit there and just be relaxing. If you know this thing needs to be achieved in 4 years, guess what? You go to work. But if you don't have a time frame and you're just saying that, well, I want to become a doctor, whatever God say, don't put this thing on God. He has nothing to do with God. He's directing your path. Guess who's planning? It is you. He's the one directing, but you are planning. So once you say, I want to become a nurse in the next 4 years. Okay. So the next 4 years, they kind of start counting. So 26, 27, 28, 29. So by 2029, you say, I want to be graduating from a nursing school. Great. That is your time frame. So now you have 3.5 years, basically. Don't put 4 years. You have 3.5 years to get your nursing degree. So within that year time, the first year, you need to figure out what exactly you need to do. Your courses, prerequisite, whatever that needs to be done. Do you have credits from here, there? The school that you need to attend, is it online school? Is it campus? What courses you need to take? So you start planning for this thing. What will be your classes time? Is it going to be a Monday through Friday thing, or is it going to be a 2 days thing, or is it going to be an online thing where it's a self-paced? You got to put all that into your plan, like planning. So that way, when your friend call you and say, we have a party, for the next 2 weekends, there will be party, black and white party, and then all of them going to be black and black. I'm not sure what funeral you're going to, but, then you are able to tell them, say, oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm engaged with something. I can't go. Don't be sorry that you tell someone you can't go to an event because you are working on your goal. Most of the time, we are afraid to tell people no because you are in a place where you don't want them to get offended. No, if you need to be studying at this time and someone is telling you, let's attend black and white party, black and black party, I'm telling you, you're going to bury your course. Because at the end of the day, you have funeral for that course, you're going to fail. And you'll be having the funeral black and black party for, failing the course. And you got to repeat. College is not like high school. With high school, you can make up things, some kind of way and stuff. But college, that grade plus you have to pay for the class again. So you will be able to tell people, I'm sorry, I can't do it. I can't do that. So that's why time sensitivity is important. Put a time on your goals. Okay. By this time, during the day, I can't go nowhere. I can't talk to you on the phone. You have someone who is a talkative and they call you when you should be, researching, when you should be probably, studying, when you should be doing something or in class. And then you are talking to them, you spend 1 hour. That 1 hour, you should have used it. So your goals, you have to think about it as smart. Plan smartly. People say work smartly, don't work hard. Okay? When we have a good plan set in place, it's very easy for you to go ahead and execute. If you don't have a plan and people are asking, okay, so what do we do? Then you are confused, like, okay, do I do this first? Do I go here? Do I go? No. When you have a plan, you can just go back to your plan. And you're like, okay, this is where I am right now. I'm 3 months gone into this. This is the next quarter. This is what I'm supposed to focus on for the next quarter. That will help you a lot. One thing I realized is that the more the year go forward, you and I are getting older. We don't age backward. We age forward. So the more we keep saying, I'm going to do it next year. And then next year come. I'm going to do it next year. Next year come. I'm going to do it next year. So you sat down and 3 years have passed by you. And in that 3 years, you could have accomplished your goal. Are you put a plan? Your goal can be anything from finances. Maybe within the next 3 years, I'm going to save 15,000. Someone might say 15,000 is not money. Well, 15,000 is money to some people. Okay, so 15,000 within 3 years, great. How are we going to get this 15,000 saved? What am I going to do? Am I going to get extra job? Am I going to work overtime, and the overtime hours, am I going to be using it for my savings? How am I going to get this 15,000 saved in 3 years? Is it saving 5,000 every year? Maybe when I get tax return, or split it for 3 years tax return. If you get more, split it in about 3,000 each or 2,000. Like, how are you come up with a plan? And that's the reason why people get taxes and they don't do jack with it, because they don't even have a plan. You know, you get your taxes and you start buying TV when you don't need one. The one that is in the house is working, and you want to get one because why? You don't have a financial plan. You don't have a financial goal. Okay, there is no financial goal. Do you want to get a house? What is your goal? You like, oh, I'm gonna get my house. I'm gonna when are you planning to get a house? You know, soon. When exactly are you planning to get the house? You know, when God gave me the money, so you have no, it's not about God giving the money. When are you planning to get your house? It's in the next 3 years. Because if we know the when, then you can start to focus on, what do I need to do to get the house? What do I need to work on to get the house? First, before you start doing anything about your house, I want a house in 3 years. Okay. You have to ask some questions. Okay. Your credit score. What is your credit score? What are some delinquents on your credit score that you need to take care of first before you get a house? Do you have delinquents? Is there collections on your credit score? How much are they? Can you pay off? Is it something that needs to be paid off? Is it something that needs to be disputed? How much do you have saved? If you don't have that amount saved yet, how long is it going to take you to save that amount to get the house? How much exactly do you need to save as a down payment for the house? Is it 20 grand? Do you need 22,000? Do you need 30,000? Are you planning to use a first-time home buyer program? You know, what exactly do you need? The step, when you keep saying, when God do it, when God choose to do it, no, it's not God, it's you and I that needs to have a plan. I want to have a house in the next 3 years. Then you will start working and you will have the desire to work on it. But if you don't have that plan, then, you know, you're not going nowhere. You know, financial security is very important. All these things is going to help us to build ourselves. Okay. We need, at some point of our life, we need to come to the place of financial security. And that can only happen when you have a plan. You know, some of you be sponsoring your boyfriend. Will probably need to take the paycheck out of the hands of the boyfriend. That brother need to go get a job. And like, Nico, you need to go find a job. We ain't gonna be sponsoring, you know, the money that you're using to give to your boy. Hey, can I hold $20 for gas? Oh, hell to the no. Go get a job. Probably you can hold a $20 job. Go get a job. And then we can take that $20 and save it. Okay, you can save it. Yeah, $20 can come up to something. You know, probably some of you like shopping a lot. You probably want to, you know, decide to cut down on your spending if you want to become financially, you know, stable at some point of your life. Okay. So that way you are not working, and then you can see where your money is going. So plan smart. Okay, plan smart. All right. So the last slides there, says Jojo. For us, it's just the same thing that it kind of explained. For us, the SMART goals, but they have a bit of questions to kind of ask yourself with the SMART goals and stuff like that. All right, so Jojo, can you go to the last slides for us there? All right, so it's the same, so it just kind of have a little bit more, you know, information with the same thing, so specific. So you can find this on Google. You know, this is something that my company actually require us to do, and this is something like they have us, you know, doing with the, you know, definition and everything, and make sure that the person understand it. You know, so you have to ask the CSR, do you understand what the specific goal is? And that CSR needs to tell you, yes, I understand. And then you need to tell me, so what is the specific goal that we are going to work on? Okay, so you need to understand that it's specific, about what you want to achieve. So you need to be able to ask yourself questions about your goals following the 5 W's. Okay, so who, what, when, where, why. Okay, so you need to be able to answer those questions when it comes to the specific part of it. Okay. And then the measurable part, you want to be able to make sure that you can measure your success. Okay. When you see success, you get excited. Oh my God, it worked. It worked. It worked. It worked. Let me try it again. So you'll be able to push you, inspire you, be your own inspiration. Okay. Stop looking for inspiration from people. Thank God for people, but be your own inspiration. The Bible says, and David encouraged himself in the Lord. There are times where you need to become your own inspiration between you and God. Nobody else. Says you and God, you need to inspire yourself to achieve your own goal. I mean, there are times where you look at your goal and you're like, this is not achievable. I can't do it. But it's something that is in your heart. It's a passion that you have. So you need to you might encourage yourself to do it. Okay, so you will be able to track your progress by answering questions like, how will you know when your goal is complete? Okay, so how will you know? So probably you check every week, your weekly goals or monthly goals. Annual goal, I want to encourage you to do no annual goals if you have not started yet with your planning. Annual goals can be a long term, something that can happen. Achievable, so ensure your goal is realistic, all right, and it's achievable. Don't set yourself a goal that's too easy or too difficult to complete. So look at your current situation and make sure you have what you need to achieve it. Okay, so don't lie to yourself. Don't set yourself up for failure. Relevant, set yourself a goal that is relevant to you. Okay, is your goal worthwhile to you? Are you the right person to achieve it? Is your goal applicable to your current situation, or is it unrealistic? We want to set a realistic goal, so that way we are not setting ourselves for failure. Okay, time bound. Assign a start and an end date to your goal to encourage yourself to reach it with a deadline. So think about, what you can do today, tomorrow, in the month, and sort of thing. I want this to be done within 30 days or within a week and stuff like that. But set your goals. Some of you are very talented. You have talent, you have skills. Look at yourself. Do a thorough inventory of yourself. Look at your own life. What are you good at? If you are good at cooking, then you have passion. You probably go at cooking, but you don't have the passion to do it as a business, right? Don't set no goals for that. Skip it. Find something else. Because most of the times we are good at something, but then we don't have the passion to extend it to the next level. So, you want something that you are able to have the passion to extend it to the next level. So that way it becomes an easy transition for you. Okay, but whatever your goals are, I want to encourage you to pay attention to it. Your investment today can be your liberation for the future. What you deprive yourself of today can become a huge benefit to not just you, but to people. I mean, just think about the people who came up with electricity. Think about the people who came up with sterilizing equipment in the hospital. Somebody took a time. They invested time to study. They came up with a plan. They came up with a time frame that they wanted this research done, and they are dead, but their work is still going on, is still living even after them. What you invest in today can be a breakthrough for the future. Don't take your goals lightly. Don't overlook your goals. Don't overlook your passion. Don't overlook your desire, because it can just be the answer for the future. The future can be today, tomorrow. I mean, your future It might be probably 5 years from now. Maybe it may not be needed now. But in the future, that which you are passionate about, if you learn it, if you put work into it, it can be a breakthrough for the future. So sit down and purposefully plan your life. Don't just wake up and live your life anyhow. God has you on this earth for a purpose. Walk in that purpose. Have a plan for your spiritual life. Have a plan for your finances. Have a plan for your marital life. Have a plan even for your children. Have a plan for your career. Like, have a plan for everything. Have a plan for everything so that we can strategically be able to plan your life and you are not all over the place running after the wrong people. I mean, some people be running after people that don't even care about them. While you're running after people, leave people alone that don't get a hank about you. Okay, focus on those who probably cared about you and live life that way. So find, oh, but I love him. Well, he doesn't love you like that. Okay, so let him go. That your plan won't spoil. Find something else, instead of chasing something, chase value. Man is not a valuable, chase value. Man is not one of them. Yes, but bless God. So I'm gonna stop here. If you have any question or you'd like to contribute, go ahead and share.
Hi.
E-
Yeah, I have a quick question. So in the fashion world, it's very competitive, and you like to keep your work very secretive. So would it be wise to, like, if somebody asks you, say, hey, can you help me find a vendor? Can you share, can I get your vendor contact? Is it wise to share with them or no? Because for me, I don't want to share with them, because then I feel like they're going to steal my ideas, or they're going to mess my plans up with my vendor.
So the vendor is in the business, right?
No, it's not. But let me say, when I first got into fashion, I was a model, and I always ask people for help, like, where can I get resources from, and this and that. And nobody wanted to help me. And now people are asking me for connection, like, oh, how did you went to New York Fashion Week, or how did you went to Utah? What's the connection? And for me, I'm so private. I don't want to share that with people. So what's the advice in that?
Um, do you know there is something my grandmom, will always say. My grandma was such a person who will share with people. Okay. Um, there is a difference when someone is asking me for something, because I mean, my idea, you can steal my idea that is in my head. Okay. Unless I give it to you. Unless I did, because you asking me about vendor. Now the vendor is, I'm not in fashion, but I'm thinking, so a vendor is probably someone who supply you with your goods. Okay. And someone is asking you, okay, can you tell me the vendor that you are using? Okay, they're not taking away my ideas, right? Matter of fact, I will rather share with people, because you never know that one person that God can even use to bless the both of you guys in the same fashion stuff. Now that you are talking about fashion, there is a Christian movie I was watching, and there's these two men, and they were fashion designers. One liked to sew with his hand, and the other one, he was the one who would just see the design, right? He can sew, but he's the one who would visualize the design. And he came in partnership with this man who can sew, and he can also draw his design himself. But this other guy only knew how to visualize, but he can draw it. So imagine him coming to his friend and say, okay, I know how to visualize, but I can sew. So let partner together. Imagine that man telling him no, because you're gonna steal my work. No, they both partnered together, and they became a well-known fashion designers. So sometimes you need to follow your heart. If it's something truly that person is being sincere to you and telling you, okay, maybe it's the same way you struggle. They are struggling the same way. So you'll be the one to help them out as well, because you never know. Well, this person is going to have a big breakthrough, and you are going to be the success story of that person breakthrough. So there are some information you can keep, but there are certain things that I would say just give it out. Because someone might have given something to you, even though it was difficult for you to get the breakthrough, but someone assisted still. The more you help people, I mean, the blessing comes. So there are some things, don't withhold it. Share it. Like, I've been through this. Maybe you should also use that as a story. Telling people the struggle of being a fashion designer, and you want to be that one to break that barrier, that people who are coming to the fashion world will not have to struggle that way, and you can be the one to help them.
Thank you. It's so funny how you're talking about this topic today because let me say 3 months ago I had my plans laid out, what I wanted to do, and I went ahead and found a good connection in Utah where I'm going to be a first-time designer for a fashion show. And I took your advice serious about about I think the July topic you talked about. I took it very, very serious. So I laid out everything I wanted to do this year and then in future times too, and learning how to sew. So I already found somebody who's gonna teach me 101. I just need to buy my own sewing machine. So thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Any other question or comments? Anyone like to share? Okay, we have some more people. Hi, ladies. Gloria. Hi, sis Nettie. I'm Madeleine.
Hello. I'm enjoying all the advices. I really appreciate it. I'm just listening. It's my first time. So I'm just listening. Yeah,
You're
thank you. Mhm.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Anyone else?
I have a
Question?
comment. Can you hear me?
Yes, it's
Yes.
Madeleine.
So basically what I got from it is the advice is to take the advice especially if you think it's gonna help your business to prosper you, to put into action and you will see the results. That's what I got so far.
Yes, yes. Yes, part of planning will require us to ask questions, and take advice, meaningful advice from people. It's all part of your research. People have asked you, and since Mary talking about fashion, what came to my heart is that you want to find a mentor in the fashion world to mentor you. Like everything requires a mentor. It's not just in the church that we need mentorship. But if you know a fashion designer who probably retire or retiring or something, God is willing to mentor you in the fashion world, you want to go ahead and seek um for their help, their advice, to be your mentor, to mentor you in that area. Um, that's something that you can find out. I mean, any question? I says T girl or T.
I have a great question. Isn't it wise to keep things to yourself before sharing to people? Like I said, I don't like to share my connection with people. I like to, you know, uh, um I like to give myself the path first before I even like talk about it. So is it wise to keep things to yourself instead of sharing to anybody?
Well, it depends. It depends who we are sharing it with, right? Is it someone that can help me? Or is it like something where I just need to testify of what happened? Before you accomplish something, so I would like to, like for me, I like to go through my stuff And then once I'm done, I'll tell you about it. But if there's someone while I am working on that project that can help me, tell them about it, and they will give me more advice and insight how to handle it. So it all depends on who you are talking to. So are you talking to someone like a mentor that can help you? So you tell them, this is the plan that I have, this is the idea that I have, and this is what I want to do, and they will be able to give you their insight. Or is it something more of a like testimonial thing where, hey, I'm going to be doing, traveling to New York, be, fashion runway and stuff like that, and blah, blah, blah. Sometimes you just go for your runway and send the pictures, right? We don't have to make announcement and stuff like that. Or sometimes you just tell a few people that you trust that, hey, I'm going to this runway. I want you to keep me in prayer. So something like that. So it all depends who you are talking to be able to share your plans with them. All right. Any other questions or comments on setting goals that you have?
I guess my comment is that it also depends on like people's personality. Some people do better when they have someone to tell these things to that can help hold them accountable, and they do better when they have like they have their goal set, they set it up, and then before they start talking to people about it. So it also depends on like each and everybody personality and how they handle, I guess, trying to accomplish certain things.
Definitely, Miss Miriam. Yes. So understanding strength and weaknesses, very important, because some people may need an actual human being to give them the push, to tell them, hey, I'm checking on you. Last month we talked about you're supposed to do A, B, and C. I was checking, where are we now? Oops. Yeah, that's the reason I'm calling. So you have people like that. And then you have people who just like, I need my alarm. Okay. Google set this alarm for me. Every week I'm doing this and stuff like that. So yeah. You get people who I would like to hear someone talking to me. For me, I just like to sit quietly and make a plan. And not have too many people involved into it unless I need someone input to tell them, hey, call me this time and stuff like that to do. But yeah, so personality is very important. So understanding your strength and your weakness will help you as well.
Yeah. Thank you, Sis and Drain. It's such a great topic on goal setting, and I love how you broke it down, how does thinking, maybe some people in a place that maybe you haven't set any goals, it should be an indication, a reminder, to have something that you're working towards intentionally. Yeah, also the question in regards to sharing resources. Like you answered it well, but just to add to that, it's okay to share resources. There is nothing wrong with that. And that's how we should be, you know? Uh, yeah, we should be able to share information that's going to help another person go forward, you know? And Sis Sandrine said it right. Nobody can take what's yours. If it's like a secret formula that you have to succeed, right? Like something top like that if you share it, then it destroys your business. I understand. But if it's like basic information, like, okay, how do you do this? Um, like for example, when I instruct classes, if someone wants to be an instructor, that's fine. I'm going to show you the way to get there. I can't hide that from you, you know, because we are going to be great, so be great, and I'll be great. So there are people that I hear a lot, especially of African descent, that we're not willing to help one another succeed. So people will have information and they will hide it. Where in other nationalities, people share information so they can see others rising, so we can rise together. So I just want to put that out there, not even specifically to that question, but just in general. How did okay, you got accepted into a program. There's someone else who want to get in, but then you're hiding that information from them, and they're struggling. They can't get in when you know the information to get in. That's not okay. As Christian women, we should be so confident, right? That no matter I'm sharing to help someone be directed to where I am, that's great. Let them come where I am. Like, understanding that no one can be you, right? And that's your superpower. Let me say it that way. But no one can be you. And when you freely be a blessing to other people, when you freely help other people, God's going to open more doors for you. No one should ever be afraid to help another person because you feel intimidated, like that they might be better than you. No, you know what you bring to the table. So don't fear. People them shine. Maybe they'll come back and tell you thank you. They could go further than you. That's go further than me, and maybe they'll remember you. So I just wanted to put that out there. Like, we should have no fear of sharing information that's going to help someone succeed, but rather we should open our hearts with love. You share with good intentions. If they do you wrong, let God be the judge in the situation. So I think it's a really great topic. So I just wanted to touch on that a little bit for us.
Amen. Thank you. Yeah, I think in life, we all get places because someone gives something to us, right? Someone shares something with us. Because I still remember when I was looking for a job and I was talking to Sis Jojo. And she was like, my company is hiring, and she shared that information with me. I was there going all over for a job. I mean, there is nowhere I didn't apply. Wells Fargo. I mean, all the crazier job I was thinking applying for. And she and I were just talking. I'm like, I'm looking for a job. I can't get it. And she just like, what, my job is hiring. Let me send you this information. And she sent me that link. She sent me the email. And I was so like, I'm like, what? I've been trying for a job for 7 years. I can't get no job. And I was able to apply. I remember I stayed up that night and I apply using the link that she sent me. And then the next day they scheduled me for an interview. It was a phone interview, and I got the phone interview, and then the lady set me up for an in-person interview where I needed to come to Phoenix because I was in Tucson. And she helped me with the process. I didn't know nobody in Phoenix. She was in Phoenix. We have not met each other. We were talking over the phone in 2013, like that. And we didn't meet until 2016, actually, when she sent that link. That was in June of 2016 when she sent me that link. So she opened up her home for me to come over and stay. And then her husband was the one who had to drop me to the interview. So we all need each other. We all need each other because the blessing can come from everywhere. And I went for the interview, and on the spot I got the job. I entered the car. Her husband kept asking me, "So did you get the job?" Because I didn't have my expression was just, I was so in awe. Like, I couldn't believe it. After 7 years of joblessness, finally I got a job. And he said, "I don't know, did you get the job? Did you not get it? You're not smiling, you're not nothing." Like, my expression, I just couldn't, and that's how I got the job I have today. And I've been on that job for 8 years. I started as a CSR and worked my way through as a supervisor. You know why? Because she shared one information with me, that link for a job. She could have held that information, but she did. And she was working in that company. She shared with me. And because of that, I got a job after 7 years of joblessness. So God can take away what is yours and give it to someone else, but he will always bless you when you release first another person. Yeah, I just want to share that.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Any questions? they like to ask about goal setting and stuff. I saw somebody hands up. I was trying to see who was that. Nitty.
Okay. Sis Mary, I share a lot and I don't even think twice. Like certain things now, like when it comes to my own personal business venture or whatever I have going on, certain people I'll reach out to because I know, hey, I can trust this person, like you guys are saying, hey, they can pray along with me. I know that they have good intentions. So obviously you pick and choose. But when it comes to nursing school, all the tips and all that, like literally I can sit there and read a book on nursing school, what to look for, what not to look for, all the different credits and everything else, because I've been through, few schools, the scheduling, everything that works for you was transferable. Anyway, moving forward. So when it comes to nursing school jobs, I have actually given people jobs. One time being Liberian, I'm like, oh, I like to support my community. I like to support, I'm always uplifting, supporting. So some people in my church in the Liberian community, I was the manager, the family of a millionaire basically put me in charge because my patient was like, I don't want anyone else but me. So I ran everything. I ran the home. I picked up the checks. I was there 135 hours a week. So I could have and I was getting paid decent amount of money. And everybody else that I brought on board, because the family were like a billionaire family and the kids were millionaires. So they're like, Mitty, just give us a price. We'll give you the money. So I'm like, okay, cool. And they're like, we'll pay you hourly. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to bring all my African folks on, my Liberian folks before anyone else, because I'm supporting the community and my African community. But anyway, so some of the people that I brought on, they were older. There was this one lady, she didn't know that I have gifts, that God shows me everything before it literally happens. So anyway, so she got on, she started working. And after I've helped her, give her the job, running things, whatever, because I can fire and hire and whatever, because the family will literally come to me for report and they were giving me the checks. I'll pick up the checks and do all that. So I was literally in charge. So, but prior to that, I had to make God a promise. And he did what he did for me intentionally. God and I already talked about this. So I'm like, okay, you did what I asked you to do. Now I'm going to, and prior to that, it wasn't going to happen. And this was all God's blessing and hand all over all of it. So anyway, long story short, one of them in the group, I told her what I told her and how things were supposed to go. I wasn't there. I was working 2 other jobs, trying to juggle everything and try to cut my hours to be more available. So she didn't listen to me. She's like, oh, I'm older than her. Who does she think she is? So she's saying all these things about me after I have given her a super easy job, like literally easy, in which they were getting paid weekly, all this money, basically, just because I'm like, okay, she see my community, I'm gonna look out for my people. Because I could have brought other people, I have friends from different Caucasian. I mean, I'm friendly with everyone everywhere I go. So I don't just know just Africans. Actually, most of my friends are not Africans. So anyway, so she came on, she started acting like, oh, I'm older than I'm older than Mitty. Who does she think she is? Blah, 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 Liberian. So she's not listening to me. And because of that, anyway, so God showed me that she was on the phone talking about me after I have given her a job. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm like, okay, God, what do you want me to do about it now? Now that you have shown me and given me this information, what am I supposed to do about it? So he led me. So after this lady had talked about me, she didn't listen to me. She caused my patient to fall and break her nose because she refused to listen to me. And literally, I could have gotten in trouble because of that. But the Lord led me to find her another job after she did what she did. I'm like, okay, somebody who gossiped about me was unappreciative. Now I'm supposed to get her another job. So she told me she wanted, so I told her, I'm like, I'm gonna take over. I'm gonna work more hours. I don't really need you, but I'll find you another job. And I had to take her exam on the computer for her so she can be able to get a job. I called the manager myself. You know what I mean? So after all what she did to me, I had to go do the process for her to get a job. I took her exam. I called the manager myself. The manager was like, I don't want anyone else but you, Mitty. I said, no, I'm caught up. I'm busy. I can't do it. So I'm going to send someone else. So I had to get her a different job after all she did. But God always blesses you. And with the blessing, it just don't just pass down to you. It's a generational blessing. So when you do something and you share, just always pray and be led by the Holy Spirit. But sharing information is not a bad thing. Just kind of pick and choose what it is you're going to share. Of course, you don't want to give people your idea, like, oh, this is what I'm going to do before you do it. But when it comes to sharing information and trying to be of help to give somebody a job, don't, it's okay. Because not only will God bless you, he will bless your children. Like that's why no matter where I go or what I'm going through, it's never long for me. Things are very short. Like I don't go through, my hard days are not long. And trust me, God sends me so many people who are like a parent figure who are always there to help me because my mother did it and it passed down to me. So whatever I do and God is gonna use me to do, it'll pass down to my kids. So that blessing just is not just upon you, it goes down generationally. That's all.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Mhm.
All right. Anyone else? All right. Well, if we don't have any more questions and comments, blessing being on tonight. Just kind of bless God for all the new ladies in our midst. Where is this Gloria? And I think I met you before.
You never
Is,
missed this.
is this
Yes, you have.
Yes, you have at the summit.
okay? Because I'm like, wait, is this Gloria that we know or that new Gloria? All right, this Gloria, is this your first time on Women of Accident? I think yeah. So we bless God for that. We bless God for all people on. I think Maya. Is it Maya? I think is did I see you the last time in July? No, I know I saw Miriam in July. Um, but want to bless God, ladies. It's very important that we elevate ourselves. I so much believe in women building capacity. I believe in that. You must add value to yourself. Um, don't chase. Sometimes we focus on the wrong thing, and instead of adding value on ourselves, we want to attach ourselves to people who doesn't value us and doesn't see anything valuable about us. So they undermine you. They treat you anyhow. But the moment you have some type of value, people will not get rid of you easily. They may not like you, but they will need you. And that's my thing. You don't have to like me. God don't pay me for you to like me or for me to like you. I don't get paid for that. But I will have some type of value when I can bring something to the table. It's easy for me to minister to you when I can contribute something, right? So people can look at you and listen to you. So I want to encourage each and every one of us, no matter where you are in your walk with God, add value to yourself. And this come with your goals, okay? The goals that you set, the things that you are achieving tells us about the goal you set. So we want to bless God, tonight for that. All right, so I would like us to pray, but before we do that, want to ask, if anyone have any kind of prayer requests